Hello, people of Earth. That is right, I'm an alien, and I am here to eat your brain. But before I do that, I want to explain to you how I invented games. You see, there was a time when we didn't play games, we just did things that we had to do, like we hunted, and we gathered, and we procreated, and we built things. You know, we just did things that propagated our species or helped society, and we did our jobs and things like that. But sometimes I felt like I was better than everybody, and I needed to create ways to prove it. So I started creating games. Poker was one of my first games, and I was kind of mad at my girlfriend, and she used to sit in on the game, so I would poke her in the eye, and that's how we got the name Poker. And then also I needed to show in other ways that all my skills, not just my skill of poking someone, was the best. So I started creating these various games. Some of them we'd have like a thing, and we'd have dice, and we'd have little pieces we'd move around, and we'd have cards we'd pick, and just all sorts of different games. And I really liked to beat everyone. I was very competitive. So the more games I created, the more I could beat people, right? So I create all these games, but you know what? They were kind of boring. In fact, I called them board games because they left us kind of bored, So I said, we got to come up with a better kind of game here. And there's just too much work with these games. There's like little pieces we got to move, and little dice we got to roll, or things like that, dials we got to spin. It's a lot of work. What if I use one of these newfangled computers and write a program that simulates a game, and it does all the work for us? I think that would be a lot less boring, and we can make these more interesting because the game can keep changing. We're not stuck based on these physical pieces here. And those were computer games, or electronic games. I started arcade games, video games. Video games, that's the way to call them. So I created video games. Those were much less boring than board games. I also invented role-playing games because some people said, I just don't even want to be myself when I'm playing a game. I want to pretend I'm someone else. And I said, well, why can't we all just be ourselves? And a lot of people were like, we hate ourselves. We want to pretend we're someone else when we play games. I said, okay, I'll come up with something. So that's when I came up with role-playing games, later called RPGs. And then I created games where people really hurt each other. And those were called war games. Yeah. Like paintball. That was a good game. People really got hurt. Loved it. So, and then remember the reindeer? I think I told you the story about the reindeer, how they were Jewish, and they went up to the Arctic to work for Santa Claus. And most of the year they didn't have to work. So they like to play a lot of games too, and those were called reindeer games. That's right. So that is how I created games. And from that point on, we all had fun. Unless you were playing board games, then you got kind of bored. Right? They were boring. I'm sorry. I can't do everything perfectly on my first try. But video games were the shit. I love those. Everyone loves those. And they just got better and better over the years as I, improved the technique of programming, which I'll talk about another day, or the processors, and stuff like that. As I improved it, it got better. So I hope you guys all enjoy your video games tonight. I'll let you go to bed and dream of video games, and you can ask me some questions about them tomorrow. See you guys later. Bye-bye.